This lesson is about making the screen. I'm going to use 𝗏𝗃, which is black. If you want to use 𝗏𝗃 glue, the transparent one, that's totally fine too. Both of these glues are included in the materials list. And here is our activator. It works for either of these two glues, meaning the black 𝗏𝗃 glue or the 𝗏𝗃 glue. Just a reminder, if you're going to use it, I recommend adding only 1 milliliter for every 50 milliliters you use. I personally don't use the hardener because I like my screen to be really flexible. So I'm only going to use the black 𝗏𝗃 glue since our hair is black. So I'll just use the black adhesive glue for this. You must be very careful and attentive with the container, making absolutely sure to close it tightly and securely, and always avoid placing it near any lamps or heat sources. This is to prevent it from heating up. Our glue is ready here for us to start working, so let's get started with the glue. Black 𝗏𝗃, like I mentioned, I put this gray tape on because it makes cleaning up easier, right? Because it's really thin. It makes the work look neat when we apply the glue, and it's really easy to clean up. But with this black glue, it does make things a bit more difficult. So what am I going to do? I'm going to put this clear masking tape over it, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Just try to avoid leaving any air bubbles under the tape, because when it's time to clean up, you just remove this top tape. With the clear tape like this, it stays thin here, and it's nice and clean when it's time to clean up. Like I said, you just have to remove it. I'm going to make 2 screens this size because we're going to do what you might call a hot dog with the adhesive tape screen. It's like a hot dog, it has to come together. So I'm going to measure out 2 screens here. Here, this serves as a precise visual indicator, a distinct mark that allows me to accurately determine the exact point where I need to cease my movement and meticulously maintain a perfectly straight alignment. I have carefully positioned it right here, and as you can observe, this is our primary display screen, showcasing its detailed interface. Furthermore, positioned adjacent to it, we have our secondary display screen, which also presents its own distinct and comprehensive visual information. And I'm going to explain why. I like to do it on this base because I concluded, watch. When I put a piece, let me do a simulation. When I place a piece right at the tip here, line it up and put another one on the other side. On this side here, I have this much left over, so I check if the tape will fit and this tape. Here, the 8 millimeters tape is the same as the tape I'm going to use for the 𝗏𝗃. So, if it fits here smoothly, leaving some space, that's all I need and all we need, so we're only going to apply glue in this middle part. Let's carefully take this measuring tape, precisely measure it right here at this specific point, and then meticulously make a complete loop. You can comfortably go past the designated white part. That is perfectly fine and acceptable. I will proceed to do this now, then carefully cut it, and finally gently fold it down just exactly like this, ensuring a neat and secure finish. Look, carefully leave it with the glue side facing upwards, ensuring it is positioned correctly, and then proceed to do precisely the same meticulous thing on the opposite side as well. I'm going to carefully fold it down and then proceed to do this particular one right here. Just as I previously mentioned, you have the option to let it stick out a bit. It truly doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, primarily because our crucial measurement point is precisely located here at this specific spot. Therefore, I will choose to leave it exactly like this in its current state for the time being. Additionally, I want to share that I am employed and work diligently at the club, which is a significant part of my daily routine and responsibilities. It's truly awful working with the limited light, so I diligently do what I possibly can and make absolutely sure everything is completely okay. Break time equals 0.5s/. Alright, it's a little bit tight here, so I will just carefully give it a little more much needed space. This specific space right here is absolutely perfect, precisely just right. Now I take it and secure it in place. The fastening is here again. I secure it here and I secure it here. The preparation of our first screen is already done. We're going to make 2 screens, so we'll do the same thing. On this side here, as I previously mentioned, right at the very tip, observe closely, this precise point serves as our fundamental measurement. It is indeed the crucial and foundational base for the entire frame, providing the essential reference point for all subsequent construction and alignment. And this bottom part was left for 𝗏𝗏𝗏. And they put it to the side because it can't stay inside the section. A small, precise section because we will definitely need to carefully apply the glue, and here I will meticulously check if everything is perfectly okay and completely all set. Now I will secure it firmly once again, ensuring it is stable. That particular step is now thoroughly done. And at this point, we are going to carefully fill in the hair, starting from this precise point and extending all the way to this other designated point. Here it is, a little bit came out. Notice that the first tape is underneath, stopping here, and it ends up getting in my way, so I'll have to place it just right. That's it here, so let's move on to the hair now, and now let's make our hair. Remember the tip I gave about the talcum powder? When you take a client's hair to make something, you usually cut it, right? If it's keratin, if it's in adhesive tape and we want to change it. For the natural tape method, which is thinner, we cut off that part, right? From the base. Usually I don't wash it, I just take it, put a bit of talcum powder to remove the oiliness here, this oiliness. Then I comb the ends, hold it well, comb it, and that's it. This way, I can already start making it. The talcum powder doesn't affect the glue at all, okay? It won't interfere with the glue in any way. Now that we've applied the talcum powder and removed the oiliness, let's start making it. For those of you who are just starting out and have never made extensions before, I recommend that you always take a small amount of hair, like really just a little bit of hair, and the strands should be very thin, about this thickness. And you keep doing this C all the way to the end. You don't need to go all the way here because we're going to cut this part off. can come up to the middle here. It just can't be within this guideline here. Okay, I'll show you roughly. So I take it here, put it right at the tip, hold it, and then I start separating it. My weft starts here, I keep separating, and I take a bit more. Another small section, carefully. I hold this side well so it doesn't get misaligned, and I gently smooth out the strands. I position it, and if I see too many strands sticking out, I take them from the aligned part and pull them, because otherwise, if you put it on too crooked, when you go to remove the weft and comb it, you'll lose a lot of hair. So I hold it here, leave a bit of space, and then I start separating again. I take a small section, check if it's misaligned, and adjust the strand here. I leave a little bit of space and then gently pull it toward the specific spot that doesn't have any hair, and I continue doing this precise process throughout all of the hair. I carefully spread it out like a wide fan so that I can clearly see, meticulously check which individual ones are misaligned, and if there are any stray hairs sticking out from the main body. You just cut those, and I hope you were able to clearly capture that on camera. Now, I am going to meticulously move on to the very next crucial step in this entire procedure, or more accurately, this comprehensive and detailed whole process is indeed a step-by-step progression that requires careful attention at each stage. Leave a small gap, and if it gets misaligned, you use the comb, the strand. Just observe. Look at the part that's a bit out of place, check it, done. Therefore, I carefully position and gently place the object precisely here, ensuring its initial placement is accurate and stable. Subsequently, we firmly grasp and securely hold it in this exact position, preventing any unwanted movement or slippage. Following this, we meticulously begin the intricate process of aligning it with the designated reference points, making precise adjustments until it is perfectly situated and oriented according to the required specifications and desired outcome. Here's a very helpful tip for these specific parts that are shaped like this, and it's quite important. Look, it's going to end up patchy. So what you do is spread the hair out evenly so it looks uniform, so one part isn't fuller than the other, and also so it doesn't end up with gaps. Now let's do this for all the hair. Like I said, I always separate it into small sections so I don't end up with too much in my hand at once. Because look, it just gets misaligned, right? So I take the parts that are longer, that are out of alignment, and I work just with those, which makes it easier so I don't end up cutting too much hair while I'm working here. See how it's misaligned? I just take a little bit here, add it in. I carefully open up the hair, gently adjust it with my fingers, then use a fine-toothed comb to help precisely align it. After that, I firmly hold it in place and then begin the process of filling it in completely. Don't worry about this part here. Focus on the base, because as you can see, this part here is shorter and this side is longer. I'm going to carefully take the ones that are considerably longer, the ones that have unfortunately got misaligned. Break time equals 0.5s/. I'll try my very best to meticulously line it up a bit here. Okay. And then I always make sure to grab the longer parts that have clearly got out of alignment and need adjustment. And here, this strand can be misaligned, this strand right here. If we don't pull it, it's going to come loose because the glue won't stick to it. Look, but also look, lift it up here so you can see better. Lift it up here, grab it here and pull. And now let's line it up a bit here, hold the hair here, our weft goes up to here. So pay close attention so you don't miss any hair. If you feel like there's a gap here, like it needs a bit more hair, just grab a little and add some hair. In the spot where you feel it's going to look noticeably patchy, just keep on adding and carefully spreading it out so your weft comes out nice and perfectly even. Break time equals 0.5s/. I'm going to put a little bit here at the end, and that's it. Now let's get it just right. Okay, where did this first tape start? Be careful not to place it too high or too low. Carefully endeavor to align it precisely and accurately, much like one would use a straight edge or a ruler to ensure perfect linearity. Position your comb directly in the central part, utilizing it as a reliable and steadfast guide for your subsequent actions. Then, meticulously work to seamlessly connect this current piece of tape with the one situated beneath it, ensuring a smooth and continuous bond. Following this, gently but firmly apply an upward pressure, lifting it slightly in that direction. All right, at this point, it is crucial to firmly hold the material in place, ensuring a stable and secure grip. Subsequently, meticulously align each individual strand, making certain they are perfectly parallel and evenly distributed. Following this precise alignment, carefully proceed to trim away any and all excess material that extends beyond the desired length, ensuring a clean and professional finish. And here, it's precisely the same essential thing. Always remember to carefully leave a sufficient amount of open space so that this particular tape can move completely freely and without any obstruction. And here we precisely cut the material. I will meticulously perform the exact same procedure here, ensuring consistency in our work. Now, with careful attention to detail, let us proceed to meticulously craft our second weft. Do you observe how it is noticeably and slightly misaligned, requiring a minor adjustment? I'll grab this part here that's more out of line. The glass was kind of like this. I'm pulling the strands so we lose as little hair as possible when making it. And I noticed that if I put it there, I would lose a lot of hair, so I'm going to pull the strand from here. I could even use this end here, but there's more hair at the bottom, so I'm going to prioritize that. Wherever you observe that the visual presentation or structural integrity appears to be lacking in density, or where the coverage seems insufficient, it is at these precise points that your intervention is required. You should then proceed to meticulously apply additional material or elements in these specific areas, ensuring a thorough and comprehensive enhancement. However, it is absolutely paramount to exercise an extreme degree of caution and meticulousness throughout this particular phase of the process, as any misstep or oversight at this critical juncture could potentially lead to undesirable outcomes or compromise the overall quality and stability of the final result. Therefore, a deliberate and precise approach is highly recommended to ensure optimal success and prevent any unforeseen complications. Here, make absolutely sure that the tape comes out just right, precisely from underneath the mechanism. Take a very close look and carefully comb here to perfectly align it. Now, let's meticulously put the top one on, watching very closely and paying attention to every detail. This is perfectly okay if it comes out a little crooked or perhaps a bit wider than the other one. That particular aspect is not critically important at this stage of the process, as minor imperfections can often be adjusted later or are simply part of the natural variation in the material. This one here, this is our base, and this is the one we're going to remove. Here's a tip I'm going to give you now. Put another one on top just right, okay? Don't let it go past. It's just to reinforce this part here and this part at home too. Now, let us meticulously transition our focus to the crucial step of applying the adhesive, commonly known as glue. For this initial and foundational layer, we will meticulously execute the first coat, always employing a consistent and deliberate motion. This specific technique involves a smooth, sweeping, and even application, ensuring comprehensive coverage across the entire surface. It is imperative to perform this action with precision, moving the applicator in a controlled and steady manner. Following this initial application, we will then proceed to meticulously go over the entire area a second time, reinforcing the bond and ensuring optimal adhesion. This dual application process is vital for achieving a robust and durable connection, providing a strong and lasting foundation for the subsequent stages of our project. The careful execution of these steps is paramount to the overall success and longevity of the work. Now, just wait 10 minutes for the glue to dry well. It dries really fast, okay? In a little while, take a look and check if the glue is dry. Let's take it off, flip it over, apply the glue again, and wait 10 minutes. In the next class, we'll move on to the sewing machine. Now let's flip the canvas. It's already dry. Let's turn it over. Always remove it from underneath. From the bottom, tape carefully, okay? Be very careful at this point because the tape still isn't very, strong. Let's take this off here. Take off the ends here. You grab this hair here, and here's a tip. Don't comb these wefts. Don't comb them, okay? They're still in the process. Ideally, after it's finished, wait 24 hours after the glue has fully cured 100%. Then you can clean off any hair that the glue didn't catch. Do the cleaning. But right now, it is absolutely crucial to avoid as much as possible trying to meticulously clean your weft. Let's gently pull here, look closely, gently, hold firmly here, see, and that's precisely it. You can clearly see there are still a few loose strands remaining. Let's turn our weft over the other way around, and let's do the same with the other one. Let's apply the glue. And I'm going to carefully and precisely remove this excess here, ensuring it doesn't bother me or interfere with the final look. I have meticulously removed this specific part right here, and then gently took off this side section. Now, with great care, I will grab the hair, carefully move it over to this designated area, and then very gently, with an abundance of patience and a steady hand, I will continue the process. And let's pull so we don't damage our piece. Look at this beautiful thing here. Now let's get rid of this piece here so it doesn't get in the way. This here is annoying. It keeps sticking and ends up pulling out even some strands. And now let's carefully and precisely apply the glue. Take your time to hold it firmly in place, ensuring a good initial bond. Then we can add a little more without any need to worry about overdoing it at this stage. It's truly important not to be stingy with the glue, okay? You see, the glue absolutely needs to get on all of the hair strands, covering them completely and thoroughly to ensure a strong and lasting hold. If we promise that our weft won't shed any strands, we have to deliver. Don't skimp on the glue. The glue has to reach every strand, and we've already found a much cheaper and better glue. It's better, more durable. So there's no need to be afraid of using too much glue. The days of wasting money on expensive glue are over. And what's worse, it wasn't even giving us the results we expected, right? Clean it up. See the strand that's here? Just give it a quick clean. There you go. Let's wait 10 minutes. And in the next class, we'll move on to the sewing machine.